Welcome to our new segment, Wahlotron. Yeah, silly name, we know. But so this is going to be Julia's and myself, Nick's bi-monthly, not bi-weekly, updates on the German federal election that's coming up on September 26th. There's a date as of, I guess, the end of last year. Yep. And so today being Friday the 15th that we are recording, and the CDU is going, starting tomorrow, their Parteitag, their party congress, to decide who the new head of the CDU is going to be, which is kind of caused a bit of controversy because the three people at the helm, all proud NRWler from North Rhine-Westphalia. And for anyone who listened to our last episode, we briefly went over Friedrich Merz, who is seen as the further right candidate, the very conservative candidate. Let's just, be, diplomatic here. Sorry, this is not going to be traditional Späti ranting and shit talking. Armin Laschet, who is
practically the only one with governing experience in the whole as the head of North Rhine-Westphalia right now, the Minister President.
And he's kind of seen as maybe the closest ideologically to Angela Merkel,
which I find interesting. What's with Röttgen?
Röttgen prides himself on being the perfect centrist internally of the CDU.
He's a pizza boy, so he is part of the pizza connection.
The what?
Oh yeah.
Please explain this to me.
Okay, so the pizza connection, that's why I called him pizza boy. The pizza connection is we're a bunch of CDU people meeting with Green Party people. Just talking about the future of Germany. I don't know. Actually, we can go into that when we talk about Röttgen more, I think. But just saying this is this was a meetup. This was a group of people that was willing to talk to the Green Party.
Greens, yeah. Well, Röttgen hilariously too.
So is he the future, huh?
Possibly. What's the future of the Greens look like? We'll have an episode on that too. But yeah, Röttgen, the thing that's really funny with him is that he said he will not work with the FDP this week. And it was really funny seeing a bunch of Julis being yo, fuck him. We don't want Röttgen. I'm Team Merz now. It's mask off.
Yeah, mask off. Seriously.
Mask off. We want the furthest right-wing candidate that the CDU can offer. Oh, okay. But enough about our three boys, the diverse group of characters that may be the head of the CDU next week, which we will, of course, give an in-depth look at. Possibly the winner, Friedrich Merz, planning on doing a little insider into him next week if he wins. If not, he's, we can still talk about him eventually.
He still will be there and he will still say something about it.
He'll throw a fit,
Definitely. He threw a fit about the upcoming date and the way it is done now. Yeah. Because he thought now Laschet has some more time to prepare his, his performance. I don't know.
He's drunk and stumbling into winning so we're going to talk about the person who's obviously the most important member of the CDU of the past 16 years. Mutti. Angela Merkel. If you don't know, she's the current leader of Germany, and she
has been for 16 years.
For most of our lifetime. And she obviously said that she's not running again.
Surprise.
Surprise. Depending on if a coalition then is made after the election, could potentially be the longest German leader in history.
Yep.
That's cool. But her legacy is kind of an interesting one because I don't want to say that we at Corner Späti or we at the Wahlotron, punching
Merkel.
The numbers that we are, Merkel stands. But she did put the CDU into a very the CDU and Germany into a very interesting spot. One, as that she is not she's not as traditional as the CDU used to be, and really the only tenet that they're kind of still standing on that she really supports is the Schwarze Null, or
her economic policies are still seeing die Wirtschaft, so the economy, as something that only So the only concerns that matter are the ones of entrepreneurs and like, well-off people. So
big German business.
Yeah, exactly. So this
yeah.
is still something where you can say, okay, Angela Merkel is very like online with not online. Merkel's very online.
Merkel's just posting.
But in line, that's what I wanted to
Yeah.
say. In line with party politics.
Yeah, economically, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, she, though, at the same time, I would say is a little bit more socially liberal than her constituents in the party, particularly. Her refugee response was praised by the rest of Europe.
Why she was hated by everyone in the CDU.
Yeah.
Almost not everyone. But
Exactly. And I think that it also is that there is a definite, I think that we can't look at Merkel without looking at a sense of the stability that she brought Germany, the CDU especially, because the CDU was not as popular of a party until she got in, and the CDU like kind of reigned supreme for these 16 years, and even during her response of the COVID situation is untouchable currently in the polls.
Yep.
But I'm convinced that depending on who her heir is, who's her successor,
make Germany a monarchy.
Make Germany a monarchy again. Yes, magma. There's really a sense of that. I do genuinely think that the polling of the CDU doing so well, particularly in the situation that they're currently in, stems from her. Does not stem from the party.
No, yeah.
There are a lot of people, I at least would argue, that only vote Merkel.
Yeah, and not CDU in the like parliamentary elections.
And so the potential response would be that, let's say that then a Merz person gets in, a lot of those votes are going to go to the Greens or the SPD. Simply put, Merz probably will still win because the CDU is still, I would argue, the majority party in Germany. The CDU is like weirdly culturally very German in its sense that they're like the majority of federal chancellors of Germany have all pretty much been from the CDU except for two.
Yeah.
Brandt and Schröder. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Wait. Willy, and what's his name? Schmidt.
Oh, Helmut Schmidt. Okay, three. Yeah, three of them. But, I mean, for also a country that has been in its current government form since the end of World War II, 3 out of all the other ones, like all the rest of them have been the CDU, and 16 of those years being Merkel, another 16 of those being Helmut Kohl.
I know, it's fascinating, isn't it?
So over 30 years of German history is from 2 leaders from one party.
We're good at that.
Yeah, not to mention then Adenauer and Erhard was Bundeskanzler for like a minute.
Yeah.
But they have dominated in politics since the end of the Cold War. Since during the Cold War and the end of the Cold War, they've also swept up a lot of seats in the East as well. They're quite popular in the East. Like the CDU is very comfortable politically in Germany, and they're not going anywhere, regardless if there's an internal split in the party. But what does Merkel's exit mean for Germany's future and for Europe's future? Because I'm actually like kind of, I know that I said on the show before, on regular Corner Späti episodes before, like I'm not a big fan of Merkel, but it didn't hit me until maybe like these last 2 weeks.
I know that she's gone soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting because this is kind of like, okay, it's not the same, but people like saying, okay, this is like a little joke, but if you look at Russia and Putin being in power the whole time and everyone thinking about, but 2024, like he's gone. Well, joke's on you, he's not going to be gone.
2036.
So let's just extend the term. No, but this actually puts CDU in a very weird position because it is kind of like, where to go from here? Where to go from the Merkel legacy? Quo vadis CDU?
Yeah.
It is really that situation. I think that is why they are so where they can't announce a candidate right now. They don't even fucking know who's going to lead the party. So this is going to be revealed on the 22nd, I think, because they have to do this weird like mail-in ballot situation after doing a whole Zoom meeting, Parteitag. But yeah, this is the question. And the question is it going to go further right, which Merz and and his friends want, like something that Merz and his friends want, and something that actually when the whole
who Merkel doesn't get along with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Merkel doesn't go, she gets along way better with kind of like a centered candidate, someone like Laschet, like you said, or Röttgen maybe.
I just don't think that Laschet has. So the thing that's really interesting with Merkel, and the thing that's really interesting with female politicians in Germany, is that they're very kind of perceived as cold and
you can only be powerful in a word of man when you're emotionless.
And the men like male German politicians are absolute buffoons.
Yeah.
Like Germans just want a drinking buddy. They really
like
do.
Gerhard Schröder. Bring him back.
Schröder, yeah, think about it. Laschet just like looks like he's just completely drunk all the time, and probably because he's an old CDU politician, probably is.
Maybe that's why that's why Söder is doing so well right
exactly.
now.
That's the thing that's so
He's
fucking
just a
weird
dude
to
you
me.
can drink beer with.
Yeah, Markus Söder, for those who don't know, the CDU split into two parties, the CDU and the CSU, which is the Bavarian version of the party.
The
which
socialist Christians,
Yeah,
which they are not, but that's in the name. But
Christian Social Union.
Union.
No, it's not Socialist Union. Don't
I
get it
know.
twisted.
It was social, sorry.
Yeah. So it's pretty much the same party who gets extra, who has their own, like they function normally as their own party, but then when push comes to shove, they're going to be functioning as the CDU, and they get the coalition with the CDU as well.
Yeah.
But Markus Söder, who is polling incredibly well right now, literally today just tweeted tweeted a picture of his adorable new little puppy.
Oh my God, he has a puppy.
Yeah, like I just think that his entire thing, given Markus Söder has some of the shittiest politics in Germany, very right wing, traditionalist, wanted, very much was in favor of
CSU. So that's all you have to say.
Yeah, very much like the preservation of German Christian heritage and shit like that. But also gives us the vibe that you could have 1, 2, 10 beers with him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In Las Vegas, where they opened up a Hofbrauhaus, and he promised immunity to everyone who's in that Hofbrauhaus, because this is Bavarian country.
Yeah, what happens in Bavarian Vegas stays in Bavarian Vegas, I guess. But even Söder, who's well liked, again for a very weird reason because he's not Merkel, and at the end of the day, he's still Merkel doesn't have that weird Christian background thing that someone like Söder does. She doesn't care about this. At least on the surface.
She was active in a Christian group in the GDR, as far as I know, like a Christian youth group and stuff like that. But
her father was a minister.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but she's not out there talking about. I don't know. She doesn't put the church as a priority.
Söder
in her
absolutely
politics.
does. Yeah, he's a good little Catholic boy.
Yes, he is.
I think he's Catholic. He's Bavarian. He has to be Catholic, right?
I think there's no one that is allowed to in the CSU.
Yeah.
If they're not Catholic.
Damn right.
Yeah. But so this puts the CDU in a weird position right now. It's literally they have
a vacuum.
To,
it literally will
it's
become
a vacuum. It's
a
power vacuum right now. Yeah.
Even as intense as if a country collapsed.
No. But it is. There's a lot of infighting going on. Oh no, it's CDU infighting.
Oh God, that must be. Oh God, I can't even imagine just how snarky it is.
Yeah.
And German.
Oh, very much so. You can see it with all the Merz groups and shit like that, Women for Merz.
Which is started by a dude.
Yeah, and Women Against Merz and stuff like that. So the Frauenunion, so the women's faction of the party is not so pleased with Merz as a candidate or as a leader of the CDU.
Because he literally voted to keep rape legal in marriage in the 90s.
Yeah, there's some weird kind of explanations for that. How the bill. Anyway, he did vote. Yeah.
There's Julia over here is actually a part of Frauenvermehr.
Yes, I love that guy.
But
Junge Union, all.
And I think too, it's also the sense of the vibe that Merkel's pedigree in politics is one thing. She's been since the fall of the GDR, she's been her constituency since the 90s. And but everyone always brings up, the sense of that she's a doctorate in physics, I believe it is. and that, you know, she's very well spoken, and obviously I would say most German politicians are, but Merkel has a very cut and dry way of speaking, but then that's also simultaneously using way too many words. It's weird, you know. Merkel's if you can speak German, Merkel's interesting because she gives a straightforward answer that takes way too long to get to.
She's still, but actually, good that you bring that up, because I think especially now with the pandemic situation in Germany, people are kind of, I don't know, maybe it evokes like even more fear about what is going to happen next, because she's been seen as a good leader during a crisis. Actually, we can talk about that, you know, like, or if that's actually true.
Yeah. I mean, the sense of right now that then Germany is like, Merkel literally is thinking about shutting down the public transit before she's thinking about shutting down the offices.
Exactly. We can talk about that's some economy bullshit.
Germany can't have that economy, you know, contract anyway.
Still love
whatsoever.
the Schwarze Null.
Well, no, that's exactly the thing I wanted to say, though, too.
I know, yeah.
Is that the last point that Merkel, I would say, had that then was traditionally CDU was the Schwarze Null, which then she scrapped.
Exactly, that changed now,
because of Corona.
Yeah.
However, Merkel, at her end of the year press conference saying how that the Schwarze Null come 2021, really the CDU needs to get their shit together and put that back into place. And I'm very curious of because I'm pretty confident that the next chancellor of Germany will be coming from this party, just simply how they're polling, unless you get a bizarre red-green coalition that could. It depends how good the Greens do, which we'll obviously address, you know, come time when
they're flirting a lot with the CDU. Right
they
now.
are, exactly.
I mean, there is a whole new pizza connection going on right now.
I don't get what this pizza connection is, but okay. I think of pizza and I think of Pizzagate, which is not good.
I know. I thought
I don't want German Pizzagate.
Me neither.
But yeah, so I'm that tenet of the CDU was dropped though, and I think it'll be very hard to convince people and whoever is the leader of Germany come September or whenever coalitions form, because just as you said, the potential of, will it be the Greens and the CDU? Will we just have another GroKo? Which I kind of doubt, because I don't see this SP, unless the party goes further right, then you'll see more of these votes that then we were saying were Merkel only votes, probably go back to the SPD or potentially go to the Greens, depending on how well the Greens play their card of wanting to work with the CDU, but then not having the same politics as the CDU, but then at the end of the day having the same economic policies as the CDU. You know, having this like green capitalism that they continuously go on. Yeah, they're not in favor of the black zero of the Schwarze Null though.
No.
So
they just want Teslas for all.
They want Teslas via tax break. Which is fucking
for
garbage.
Rich people.
Teslas for rich people, which they already are for.
That's some green policy there.
It's literally the policy that we already have in like most of the world.
So one thing I can tell you, I don't see the FDP anywhere.
Oh no, the FDP is going to be pulling horribly.
Yeah, exactly. So what we had last time, you know, with like talking about a coalition, like a Jamaica coalition, this won't be, oh my God, Germans. I'm sorry. This won't be the thing this time. So you won't be seeing, I think at least, I don't think that the FDP will actually. I mean,
maybe if they.
I mean, it depends also who is the CDU candidate, because someone like Röttgen said that he doesn't want to. Was that Röttgen?
Yeah, Röttgen said
he doesn't want to rule with the FDP because they are never sure if they want to actually be in a.
No, they don't. That's the thing. The FDP thinks. The thing that's so hilarious with the FDP, especially when it comes to the general election time, is that they barely get over the like 5% every. I mean, actually, relatively recently, they were first hilariously in government, and then that next election they were out of the Bundestag, if I'm not mistaken, and then they came back in, and then they wanted to form a coalition. Eventually last election, and they wanted way too much. They wanted these insane things. Lindner wanted to, you know, because he's this little cult of personality guy, wanted simply being in government wasn't enough for him. He wanted these ridiculous things like Wirtschaftsministerium, which he was not going to get. And to be very fair, no one, no matter how far right the economics of the CDU become, they're not going to give it to a liberal. You know, because they have someone in their, no, because they have someone in their party who probably has the exact same politics, if not more in line with the Schwarze Null than someone like the FDP does.
Yeah. The CDU loves being
they love
boss
being
of the economy.
Yeah, they love it. I mean, look at then how I mean, we can just look in the sense, like in a European sense, that Wolfgang Schäuble, one of the most famous people in the CDU, is like praised and is the president of Parliament currently right now, just because the CDU thinks he's so cool. And I'm pretty sure if you ask a person in any of the pigs countries, they don't have a very good opinion of Wolfgang Schäuble because he wanted to bring German type of austerity to the rest of Europe. Yeah. You know, because how the Eurozone functions and whatnot, where Germany has to maintain the Schwarze Null in order for this export-driven economy to continuously exist. So Schäuble was that guy who was tapped on for that. Yeah. You know, so I don't see that policy ever leaving this party's DNA until it's like literally ripped from the clutches of their hands because it just can't exist anymore, which is currently right now, it cannot exist anymore. Yeah. And that's literally the last thing, like, kind of going back to Merkel.
I mean, you can see that, with Merkel and like how she handled the crisis on a European level is actually going more in the direction of a Währungsunion, like you know, of doing. We know that everyone was on their own when Corona started, kind of. We left Italy behind, leaving them by themselves with all the shit going on. Yeah. Until then, they started to talk about these like EU bonds.
Yeah, the EU bonds.
Yeah, exactly. So that is
Euro
actually,
bonds. Yeah.
Yeah, the Euro bonds. That is actually like kind of like a step away from the legacy that Kohl brought into the EU with. Of course, like deciding on having the same currency, but not really acting in the same manner when it comes to EU-wide
having your own sense of like sovereignty around this.
Yeah, exactly, you know? And financial policies, and
which can't work in the Eurozone. Exactly. It just can't. When you're on the same currency, you like Germany also too very much had that very weird. Court case last year where it was ruled that then that you know, the fiscal policy has to be decided internally by Germany, that the EU can't do it.
Fiscal policy, that's the word.
But which weirdly enough, if people look into it, there's a lot of people who are attached to the AfD who were the judges on this thing, and the AfD has a very classical liberal Austrian school sort of way of seeing economics, which is bad and may or may not play into fascism, but historically. So this is just kind of, this episode just more like a food for thought going into the weekend. We're kind of keeping this one, I would say, loose and, you know, kind of questions that are going into the sense of what the CDU is going to become. But there really is going to be a node of Europe missing, I think. Regardless of if you like it or not, Merkel is this like figurehead of Europe that has been a constant through the good and the very bad. And it's going to be incredibly interesting seeing how then I would say that Germany's going to become far more important yet again, with also how Biden plays into this, because Biden is very pro-EU, where Trump obviously was
so back to more of a multilateral kind of situation.
Maybe not multilateral, but just in the sense that the U.S. and Germany are back on top. You know, it's the hand clasp emoji and not emoji. Meme, and it's, you know,
it was like
transatlantic partnership all over again, which they didn't really have under Trump. Trump didn't like
That's why you
Europe
had,
and Merkel.
That's why you had Macron and Merkel actually doing all that shit. And when it comes to Europe, and without a strong U.S. partner.
Yeah, exactly. And Macron is not popular.
No,
you know,
not popular.
Merkel weirdly is like way too popular for a world leader currently.
It's very fascinating.
Yeah. I think she pulled last week at 70% or something like that. It's insane.
I mean, right now we are also in a crisis, and she has a coming straightforward way of speaking through a crisis. Also, she said, I mean, I gotta cut her some slack there from time to time when she says, okay, we gotta do this. So, I mean, she could do better, definitely. Like, I'm not a Merkel stan, as I said, but like, it's Yeah.
It will,
in comparison to some other leaders.
Yeah, it really put it into perspective, seeing the other people who are in the CDU who
Yeah.
could become the candidates and become potentially the chancellor of Germany. It's like, oh yeah, Merkel was like crappy, but she's not nearly as bad as any of these buffoons are going to be.
Yeah, or the alternatives that we have now, or like the successors to the No. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, that is the official line of the Wahlotron is no. No. Merkel's successors. No. Whoever it is.
Yeah.
One little update then about that is that Jens Spahn is officially out.
Yeah.
He threw his hat. He he said that I think it's because they think he's too young.
Such a young lad, as a
mid-40s.
I mean, he's quite busy as being the health minister of health right now.
Oh yeah, and he's tanking in the polls currently.
Yeah.
After the vaccine.
Yeah, I mean,
flub up.
his own candidacy was never like really out. There was like speculations about him saying, "Oh, if the polls are better for me, then I might join the race." And I mean.
Yeah, well, Buster Bundeskanzler is no longer.
That's so sad. I wanted Buster Blues.
Buster Blues.
Booth.
Yeah.
We might get that. Bundeskanzler.
Yeah. So, I am not. I'm very.
Can you feel the tension?
I do feel the tension.
Good.
I'm not looking forward to this weekend. I do not want to have to do this episode next week that we have planned, potentially on Merz, because he is, in my opinion, I don't want him to sue me for libel. I don't think he's a good person, just
Me
at
neither.
his core. Where it's like with Merkel or even like Olaf Scholz and people like that, I'm like, I don't agree with their politics. Do I think Angela Merkel is like deep down evil, like someone like an American politician is, just completely corrupted by capital?
Yeah, no.
No, Merkel is just a traditionally conservative, whatever she is, and
exactly.
she's not charismatic, but then simultaneously
Very much so.
Yeah. And she's gonna be we're gonna miss you, Queen. So we will then see you guys then after the CDU's whatever it is, their party congress that then is this weekend.
Yeah. Party day,
yeah. Where the commencement speaker is Svetlana. How do you pronounce it? Yeah. Which I find that so
Belarus
funny.
Screen.
Yeah, the rightful heir of Belarus.
The rightful heir of Belarus.
Yeah. I think that's also just a funny barometer of
that's
what the
interesting.
CDU
Like, what did
wants
they?
to.
Yeah, what did they want to do with it? Maybe they were like, oh, we want our own political like prisoner or something. Like the left has Assange. Give us someone. Like, oh, okay, this one. This looks good. I mean, they also
no one
have
wants Navalny.
Yeah.
But he's going back to Russia next week.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be.
No, this weekend.
Oh shit!
On the 17th.
Oh, good luck, Navalny.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you're right about that. They just needed to have the waving the flag of being.
Look, we care about
democracy, so we're gonna have the wife of a YouTuber who ran for president speak, whose husband does not even want her to run the country if she were to have one.
That's so fascinating, right? It's like, he said that. He said, like, I want.
Yeah, I will not let her. I will not let her rule.
I will be like the master of puppets in the background.
Yeah, I will be your YouTube king. Prime Minister or whatever. I will be YouTube Lukashenko.
Wow. But make it YouTube.
Yeah. It's just Lukashenko Twitch streaming with Ninja.
Oh my god.
On that note, we will then see you guys next week for, I'm going to assume, our Merz update. It's looking very good, unless Gorkin just sweeps the leg and takes him out. I don't think so.
Because I don't have to learn anything about it.
Yeah, true. Yeah. But, I mean, you never know. 2021, am I right? We've already...
Crazy, it's a crazy
6
year.
days in a row at the beginning of the year, just nothing but pure chaos.
Yes.
CDU, keep it going.
Love that energy.
I want you to nominate the CDU. Oh, what? Last minute? It's what's his name? The kid who looks like he's an adult and yet a child at the
Philipp
same.
Amthor.
Philipp Amthor, Bundeskanzler of Germany.
Shit.
Let's go.